What's going on, everyone? Moose here, Airguns of Michigan, and today, look, we have the Evanix Viper in 25 caliber, and so far I am pretty impressed with this gun. It comes with two 7-shot magazines. These are metal construction as well, no plastic. You know, very well made. It's the rotary type, so insert a pellet, rotate, insert, rotate, insert. Does very well. It's got a solid lock in the gun itself once it comes into the breech here. Overall, I've been shooting the Hades. I wanted to see what Hades would do. I figured this is a cool backyard plinker, maybe, you know, squirrel, rabbit. It is putting out roughly 18 foot-pounds of energy as well. And I would say in a shot group, I've gotten roughly 2 magazines per fill, so 14 shots. And I'm getting right around 610 to 580-ish, somewhere right in there, as far as, you know, my spread. I don't have the exact numbers because I shot it over my pro chronograph and I didn't have it attached to my phone. I do apologize. So I'm just trying to bring these up. But there are lots of people out there that have done shot strings, and they're roughly getting the same thing. This is a very solid built gun. The only thing that I can see that's plastic on it is this clear window where this is a lubrication port. I've seen a video that Evanix put out on how to lubricate the internals, and it's through this port. And the grips themselves, these do appear to be plastic. I think it'd be cool to make a set of wood grips for it, and maybe we'll, I don't know, who knows, maybe we'll go down that road. But overall, it's been a pleasure. It is threaded 1/2 20 UNF, so you can put a moderator on it. It is not incredibly loud without a moderator, but, you know, having a moderator definitely would, you know, quiet it down a little bit more. It does have the fill gauge on the end of the barrel, which nobody really wants to do, but don't worry, because there's a workaround for that. On this side of the gun, you can see right here there is a set screw. This is actually the degasser. So we can actually pull this out to degas the gun, and then this gauge, this fill port, and this plug can all be interchanged between the 3 of them. How cool is that? So actually, I think how I'm going to do mine is I'm going to pull this gauge off and put it on the bottom and put my fill port out the front of the gun. So I don't want to take away from the slenderness of the gun itself, like having a gauge stick out the side or having my fill port stick out the side. So I figured, you know, I'd just take my fill port, put it on the bottom, and or my fill port on the end, the gauge on the bottom, and I think we'll be okay. It does not have an ambidextrous safety. It is only on the left side of the gun, and it's not totally audible, but it does function. It absolutely does function. The gun itself, like I said, is well built. This is not a barrel shroud. Also, this is an extra air reservoir. So when you fill this reservoir, you're actually filling around the barrel as well. So barrel tensioning, I suppose it's a short barrel, so there shouldn't be much to tension, but still a cool idea. I do really appreciate that. Everything, like I said, is super high quality. Even the iron sights that come on it can actually be removed, and they are metal. The only thing that I wish that they would have done with this is actually put some indicator paint on these sights, right? They're just black. So when you bring this up, it takes a minute to kind of align to what you want to do. I have put a red dot on this. However, I don't like the way that that red dot rides on this rail. So I want to try to find something a little bit different to put on it. But I think that having a red dot or a scope on this gun would be highly beneficial. Only from an aspect of it's so difficult to see through these, and when you get older like me, iron sights, throw those away. Just my opinion. But they're functional. They're absolutely functional, and nothing that a little bit of nail polish or some white paint or whatever color you prefer wouldn't solve in a moment's notice. So kind of I get, and I think that it's kind of cool that they allow you to do that yourself. My buddy JC over at Airgun Detectives, he has a whole video on how to paint your sights, and he paints a lot of his sights. You know, we're old guys, so you know it changes things a little bit. But like I said, overall it's very well built. It's not overly heavy. I would say it's maybe a little front heavy, but I mean, seriously, guys, I'm telling you, when you put this thing in your hand, you're going to go, wow, that's actually really solid, and it's comfortable. You know, it's comfortable to get onto a sight target with, and it's very comfortable to shoot. There's no real recoil, or, you know, it's not like bang, you know, like a normal firearm. The gun does cock by pulling back this top part of the breech. It will actually lock the bolt back, which is in its standby position, at which point you can drop your magazine in and then simply pull the trigger. So you'll bring this back till it locks into place. You'll return it back forward, slide your magazine in, and start shooting. It does lock back when it's done firing, or actually, yeah, it does, because it cycles. It assumes that there's a pellet. So there's no, in these magazines, 7 shots. If you pull the trigger an 8th time, it will fire again. It is semi-auto, so it will come back again. You know, overall, I mean, you know, there's a lot of people out there that, you know, make comments about, you know, pistols, and you know, if they're capable of, you know, taking small game. Absolutely. 18 foot-pounds is no joke. I do not want to get hit by an 18 foot-pound gun. I don't want to get hit by a BB gun, let alone an 18 foot-pound gun. And you know, running something like the Hades or even like a polymag, you know, and I will say this, polymags do not fit in these magazines. The tips are just a little too long. So if you wanted to shoot a polymag, you could, but you'd have to clip the tips. Just a heads up, because I tried it. I thought, man, polymags out of this would be sweet. But, you know, I mean, if you clip the tip, yes, it works. But, you know, you don't have to take off much either. It's barely doesn't clear. But like I said, overall, extremely good build quality. I'm happy with what it is, and I think that it'll be a great gun to get out to the range. It's still really cold here in northern Michigan, and we have a lot of snow, so much snow so that our range is actually shut down right now. They do not plow it. And I got stuck out there. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you were with me when I buried my car and had to let you guys go so I could call for help. But overall, very well quality built. Evanix USA, or Evanix, I'm sorry, not USA, Evanix really knocked it out of the park with this one. And these can be had. I'll put a link in the description down below where you can pick one of these up if you're interested. And with that being said, I'm Moose. This is Airguns of Michigan. Be good to each other, and God bless.